Hey everybody, it's Brian Dollar from High Voltage Kids Ministry. Welcome to the State of the Nation. I want to talk to you today about something that I think will really help you. And it's something that we all want to do. And that is be on the inside with the boss, or at least be on the boss's good side. Nobody wants to be outside looking into the inner circle of the boss and feeling like we don't really belong there. You want to be somebody that your boss can trust, right? You want to be somebody that your boss will call on when they need help, when they want feedback, when they have a new initiative that they want to start, or whatever. Well, as a children's pastor, it is so important to me that I have a strong personal relationship with my lead pastor. And I've worked very hard for the last, 15 years to develop a healthy relationship and then maintain that relationship with my lead pastor. I've served the same lead pastor for the last 17 years. And I can tell you that even though it is the boss who often is calling for meetings and sometimes we have the tendency to think it's all up to them to foster the relationship, what I recognize is that every relationship is a two-way street. And I have to do my part in order to build and maintain that relationship. And it's only through that trust and relationship that things go well and that I can find myself in a place that my boss can use me. So what I want to do is to share with you just a few of the commitments that I have made personally and that I recommend that every kids ministry leader make in this important relationship with their boss or their lead pastor. First of all, look for opportunities to serve. Look for opportunities to serve. It's a mistake to sit on the sidelines and kind of demand that your pastor take the initiative to get you involved in different aspects of church life. If your pastor is anything like mine, he's probably going to seldom ask for help because he doesn't want to bother you. He knows you've got a ministry to run. But there are plenty of needs in the church that could use your expertise and your help. And your boss would really appreciate you volunteering to help, especially if it's in an area that has nothing to do with kids ministry. You know, when I travel with my pastor, I look for opportunities to serve him. I try to carry something so that he doesn't have to deal with it. I try to set up his computer so he doesn't have to deal with it. I try to look for opportunities to take his mind off of the minutia and the details so that he can focus on the reason he's there, and that's ministry. And so in your situation, look for opportunities to serve. Don't wait to be told how to serve. Look for them. And number two, offer accountability instead of forcing your pastor to require that accountability. I don't know of any senior pastor who enjoys tracking down any member of their staff to check on them or to confront them when there's a problem. In my relationship with my pastor, I am determined to offer accountability instead of forcing him to require it and demand it from me. Here's what that means. That means when you're going to be late, call ahead of time and let him know. Don't make him come back and say, hey, why were you late to that meeting? If you know that there's a problem with a family in your church, or you know that something's not going right, or maybe there was an issue in kids' church, don't wait for him to come to you and say, hey, I heard about this. What happened? Instead, fire off an email. Give him the whole story ahead of time so he's not blindsided by the facts. Don't make your pastor play crime scene investigations. Instead, take the initiative to tell him anytime there's a problem that he needs to know about. When there's a problem that's going on that affects other ministries, give him a heads up. Number three, if you want to get in good with the boss, disagree in private, but never in public. See, in any working relationship, people are going to have differing opinions and differing ideas about how plans should go forward. It's happened plenty of times in my relationship with my pastor. I remember one point we were talking about an issue in our girls club ministry, and I believe we should do one thing, and he was really sure that we should do it another way. Well, we talked and talked about it, and ultimately he said, this is really what I feel. So when I walked out of that door, we disagreed while I was in there. But when I walked out, we were unified because I said, okay, we're gonna go with what you said. Well, what I didn't go is go back to my girls club leader and said, hey, I tried. I went to pastor and I asked for it, but he said no. So here's what we got to do. I went to them and I said, I went and I talked to Pastor Rod about it, but we've decided that what we need to do is this. See, I owned the decision with him. I disagreed in private, but publicly, I maintained that united front because ultimately he is the boss and we have to go with what he decides. So don't throw your senior pastor under the bus just to earn points with your volunteers. Number 4, if you really want to get in good with the boss, express heartfelt appreciation. I have a lot of kids ministry leaders. They tell me that they really enjoy working with their church and with their pastor. And so I always follow up with a question and I say, when was the last time you told him? Because I think a lot of times we feel good about things and nothing gets said. We never say thank you. We always just want to speak up when things don't go our way. So don't just be thankful. Express your appreciation in a way that communicates your heart. Don't just sit back and be the person who only talks when things are going bad. If you have a good relationship with your pastor and you appreciate him and his heart and his passion for ministry and for the church, tell him. And tell him today. No, I mean right now, push pause on this video, type out a text message or write out a card and give it to your pastor. Let him know how much you appreciate him, because if your relationship with your pastor is healthy, that's going to go a long way toward making sure that your church is healthy and that the kingdom of God is healthy. I pray that you'll be able to do everything you can to foster a healthy relationship with your lead pastor. Remember, every relationship is a two-way street. God bless.